Hermes. You guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
While Hermes says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not a quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Tom Ford teaming up with Chinese factories to take a shot at Gucci? That's not just beef. That's a full-blown fashion ambush. This move might be the most cutthroat power play the luxury world's seen since Dolce & Gabbana's epic meltdown in China. And let's not sugarcoat it. Even if a slice of this is true, Gucci's not just facing trouble, they're sinking fast. This isn't your usual lawsuit or PR slip-up. It's the kind of hit that could shake their whole empire. We're talking legacy-level destruction, and it gets even wilder.
I did really take my own aesthetic and graft it on to the house of Gucci. And when I left Gucci, I took it with me. Designer, I ultimately became creative director of Gucci Group. We acquired many other brands, Bottega Veneta, Stella McCartney, Alexander McQueen, Balenciaga. I was Yves Saint Laurent. I was creative director of the whole thing. I became vice chairman of the company. Well, everyone
created
was fired
a great
except
place.
for me.
Oh, you were the only one not fired.
Yeah, they were all fired. I was still there. Fired.
So you just kept your head down.
If this alliance is actually real, we're not just looking at drama anymore. We're staring down a full-blown fashion revolution. Luxury ain't about flaunting logos now. It's about cold, hard proof. Receipts over reputation. Tom Ford supposedly linking with top-tier Chinese manufacturers? That's not just bold. It's straight up legendary. It's like Bruce Wayne teaming up with the folks he once kept at arm's length, just to unmask the real villain hiding behind all that polished, high-end illusion. Nobody saw this coming, but now that it might be happening, it's the exact shakeup the fashion world's been starving for. And let's clear something up. These manufacturers, they're not some shady side hustle sewing knockoffs in a basement. Nah, these are the same factories that have built pieces for nearly every elite luxury house in the game. They've seen the lies up close. Designer tags swapped, quality ditched, made in Italy fantasies straight up faked. These folks weren't just sewing seams, they were front row to all the dirty secrets. Now the whispers say they're done being silent. And if that's true, this ain't business anymore, it's personal. Tom Ford was never the gimmicky type. His legacy's all about sharp execution, no fluff, no logo worship, just pure, unapologetic excellence. So watching Gucci cash in on flashy hype while allegedly tossing their standards in the trash, that had to hit him hard. This right here feels like cold-blooded revenge, served with style. She's been walking a thin line for years. Loud, flashy, drama-filled. Yeah, it sells. But behind all that shine, something's been smelling real off, like full-on fraud vibes. Videos have surfaced showing workers assembling what they claim are Gucci bags using cheap, low-grade materials. No luxury stitching, no expert craftsmanship, just glue guns, machines, and dead silence. And none of that screams couture. And the wildest part? People wanted to believe the fantasy. If you're dropping $2,800 on a purse, you need to believe it's high-end, not some dressed-up dupe. That illusion? That's what Gucci's been selling. Until now. Insiders are allegedly leaking bags that have no tags, yet they match real releases perfectly. Resellers are doing the math. The batch codes line up, but the fabric? Way off. Something's not adding up, and people are catching on. But here's the whisper that's setting the whole thing on fire. Gucci's limited drops? Allegedly pushed through Chinese markets first, then flipped back to the West as exclusive releases. That's not just shady, that's designer-level deception. Full-blown fraud in heels and silk gloves. If even half of this is true, it's not just a scandal. It's an empire collapsing in slow motion.
Well, no, I kept my head up and tried to take charge, which is my character and personality. But I worked for Maurizio Gucci for a period of time. Until 1992, I became design director, and then when Don Miller left in 94, I became creative director.
And that period of 1994 to 2004, when you were creative director, I believe that was it. Are there...
If Tom Ford's crew really has the receipts, emails, invoices, even old WhatsApp convos from factory leads, then this ain't just some juicy gossip. This is a straight-up industry takedown in the works. We're talking courtroom drama that could blow the lid off the whole fake luxury fairy tale. And let's be real, Gucci probably felt the heat creeping in. That's why they've been laying the PR on thick, pushing charity campaigns, eco-friendly buzzwords, and every feel-good gimmick they can find. But when your so-called empire was built on back doors and shortcuts, sooner or later, someone like Ford pulls up with the receipts and exposes the whole operation. Let's not act brand new. Gucci ain't the only one allegedly playing dirty out here. If this all sticks, it ain't just about Gucci. It's an alarm bell for the entire luxury game. 'Cause if one high-end label's been cutting corners to keep their profits fat, you better believe others are out here doing the exact same thing. This could be the start of a full-blown luxury reset. Buyers are waking up. They're realizing that made in Italy might just be a fairy tale, that those handcrafted legends are often just slick marketing, and those $3,000 bags might have rolled off the same belt as a $30 knockoff, just with prettier lighting. But now, Tom Ford's allegedly stepping in with real evidence. This ain't no influencer meltdown or clickbait headline. This is a fashion heavyweight with reach, respect, and nothing to lose. Walking straight into the ring and calling it out. This might be the moment the smoke clears. And if brands can't prove where their stuff's made, how it's made, or why it's worth it, they're done. The public's done with fairy tales. No one's just buying leather anymore. They're buying the story. And the second that story turns out fake, that brand's whole rep goes up in flames. This ain't just a Gucci issue now. If Gucci collapses, the entire elite fashion tower could come crashing down with it. The next few months might expose who's real and who's just selling dressed-up dreams. And let's not act like this came out of nowhere. Tom Ford didn't just sip his espresso and decide to lob a grenade at Gucci. This move was calculated, cold, precise, and legend level. While other designers chase likes and viral hype, Ford's coming straight for the jugular, and truth is his weapon. He's not just tossing subtle shade. He's allegedly bringing the paperwork, emails, proof, and manufacturer who helped build Gucci's empire now teaming up to pull the curtain back. That's not betrayal. That's justice. Ford's been watching the game turn sour, hype over heritage, speed over skill, and said, enough. Instead of playing along, he flipped the whole board and lit the rulebook on fire. This ain't about launching colognes or posing for fashion spreads. Tom Ford's making a statement. And this move, it's pure power, raw, fearless, and ready to blow the lid off everything fake in the game. Nah, he's allegedly yanking back the velvet curtain on a billion-dollar empire, turning all those backroom whispers into straight-up front-page chaos. In a world built on designer illusions, Tom Ford's the one supposedly shouting, "Here's what's real!" And the genius? He doesn't even gotta say it out loud. Every leaked doc, every viral clip, every factory worker finally speaking up. It's all throwing gasoline on his fire. The story's telling itself now. Ford's rewriting the whole playbook, where transparency is the new flex, where it don't matter how fancy your name is if your behind-the-scenes game is grimy. This ain't fashion, it's reckoning.
I think if you really have to have a good eye. You do, and it's like this, you're trying to figure out where the seams go, how you can hide them. Can you do it out of one piece? Like Halston, Can you, or Madeleine Vianney?
Tom Ford ain't just rewriting fashion history. He might be correcting it. And this move, it could outshine every runway sleigh, every film credit, even his most iconic red carpet flex. 'Cause being the one who stood up to a billion-dollar illusion, that kind of legacy hits different. That's forever stamped. Now here comes the craziest twist. The so-called villains of the fashion world, the Chinese manufacturers, they're flipping the whole script. For years, they've been the go-to scapegoat, blamed for every fake, every knockoff, every shady luxury mess. But what if they weren't the bad guys? What if they were just following orders? Think about it. Luxury brands love to keep things cloudy, outsourcing to stay clean, blending materials, jumping production across borders. Smoke and mirrors 101. And who better to vanish behind than some factory halfway across the globe? It gave brands like Gucci distance, deniability. But that shield? It might be cracking right now. Because those same factories that allegedly built Gucci's legit bags, they just might have kept everything. Receipts, emails, even those don't share this text threads. All the dirt, the truth that's been buried deep, might become the loudest scream in the room. Imagine a dusty drawer in some office in Guangzhou holding a folder stamped "Confidential," stacked with logos, serial codes, and step-by-step blueprints Gucci hoped would never see daylight again. Now picture all that landing in Tom Ford's hands, and those manufacturers done being the fall guys, snapping back like, "We're not taking the heat no more." That's not just revenge. That's poetic justice. After years of being ghosted and blamed, now they're the ones lighting the whole system on fire. Let's clear one thing up. These ain't some shady back alley sweatshops. We're talking multi-million-dollar factories with cutting-edge tech, legal muscle, and serious global pull. And if they decide to blow the lid off this whole setup they've been forced to play along with, it won't just spark a scandal. They'll straight up torch the entire luxury house down. And honestly, I'd be front row cheering, because the scariest people in fashion right now, it ain't the influencers, it ain't the designers, it's the silent ones, the workers, the ones who've seen it all and remember everything. And if they're now allegedly teaming up with Tom Ford, Gucci's skeletons aren't just coming out. They're about to be projected across every screen on the planet. This ain't just a scandal. It's a full-blown combustion. The moment whispers of Gucci's alleged fraud hit the web, the internet went nuclear. Twitter caught flames. TikTok dropped back-to-back exposés. Reddit turned into a crime lab, decoding leaks like fashion detectives on a mission. Nobody waited for a press release, 'cause let's be real. Deep down, folks already believed it. That's how fragile Gucci's trust had gotten. Paper thin and now tearing wide open. Fashion Twitter is unforgiving. TikTok is dragging with zero chill. Reddit's viral threads are connecting the dots and naming names. And the comments? Savage. $3,000 for glue and dreams. A purse that sheds like a hamster. Luxury? More like cosplay. The crowd ain't shocked. They've been waiting on this collapse. And Tom Ford, he knew exactly what time it was. He didn't just expose Gucci, he made the takedown entertaining. When Gucci flew too close to the sun, this crash became the main event. Let's talk Gen Z. This ain't their mama's fashion scene. They don't worship logos or buy into runway hype. They chase receipts, leaked texts, behind-the-scenes dirt. And now that Tom Ford's allegedly handing over the real files, they're not just canceling Gucci, they're torching the whole brand identity. This new wave doesn't care about decades of prestige. They want transparency. They want accountability. And right now, Gucci's looking real weak on both fronts. Want to know what's making it even worse? The silence. Gucci's total radio silence is screaming louder than any exposé. Every minute they stay quiet, the internet's reading it as guilt. You can't ghost the timeline while your name's getting dragged in every comment section. PR won't save them. Influencers? Nah. Glossy campaigns and celebrity shoutouts, that era's done. 'Cause once trust gets snapped, it's gone. No getting that back. This ain't just another backlash wave. It's a fashion revolt, led by a generation that's sick of being sold dreams wrapped in fake luxury. And now, they're flipping the script, and Gucci's name is burning at the center of it all.
These are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly.
Gucci's sitting dead center in the storm, just hoping folks scroll past the chaos before it swallows them whole. Spoiler alert, that timeline refresh ain't gonna save them. And this thing, it's about to jump from viral to legal real quick. You really think Gucci's just gonna sit back while Tom Ford and his alleged squad tear their empire down piece by piece? Nah, this is about to get ugly. Now the big question, what's next? If Ford's camp is really holding more heat, Gucci could be staring down the biggest reckoning in its entire history. Word on the street, this was just phase 1, and the next round might drag other luxury powerhouses straight into the spotlight too. Tom Ford ain't playing chess. He's flipping the whole boardroom. Every brand that's been cutting corners, they're sweating hard right now. Because if Gucci drops, those dominoes are gonna fall fast. This isn't just Gucci's crisis anymore. It's a wake-up call for the entire luxury industry. And if Ford's really sitting on the full stack of receipts, Discovery's gonna be savage. Think depositions, shredded docs, broken NDAs, the whole legal circus pulling up to the runway. And here's where it gets real wild. If even one of those Chinese manufacturers flips and takes the stand, Gucci's not just gonna need lawyers, they'll need a straight-up miracle. This ain't just a fashion feud now. It's a courtroom war that might completely redefine what luxury means in the 2020s. Now imagine this. Gucci falls, and Ford pulls it off. What happens next? Boom. The whole luxury world hits reset. Transparency becomes the new flex. Clout gets replaced with credibility, and shoppers stop chasing brand names and start demanding proof. And the only brands left standing? The ones that kept it real from day one. They're the ones that'll survive. The brands that kept it real while the smoke, mirrors, and overpriced hype start crumbling fast. Tom Ford just lit the fuse. And the explosion? Oh, it's coming. Him allegedly linking up with Chinese manufacturers to expose Gucci sounded wild at first. But now, it's feeling real. It's feeling long overdue. And it might just flip the entire luxury game upside down. If you're riding with the truth, hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with your crew. This saga's just getting started, and trust, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Catch you in the next one.